Today we're going to talk about getting exercise in while you're at the office. Whether it's your office at home or an office outside of the home, there's a lot of great ways to get exercise in. Kathy Coots, who's our fitness specialist, is going to help us and show us what we can do while we're sitting at our desk. So Kathy, what can we do so we can get some exercise in while we're at the office?
The easiest thing to do first is to get rid of that office chair and use an exercise ball. And you are actively engaging your core muscles throughout the entire day when you're seated on a ball, more so than when you're seated on an office chair. So the best thing to do first and foremost is to get rid of that office chair and grab one of these exercise balls. And they are relatively inexpensive, and it's a great thing to have at the office. And it really helps to hone in on your core strength, so you're building strength in your muscles. And you have to your core has to stay active, otherwise you would have balance problems when you're seated on the ball. So it's a real good way to work your core without even really realizing that you're doing that. That's exercise number one. That's point number one. Now, there are other things that you can do throughout the day. It's really important to remember, lots of times we get in front of that computer and we just sit there for hours. So it's important that we remember to take time to take breaks. So I always tell my clients to set the reminder on your Outlook, set the reminder on your email to get up and move every hour, whether it's just to stand up and walk around your desk, or it's to get up and walk the stairs a couple of times, just to get blood pumping and get your muscles moving so that you're trying to stay active throughout the day.
If people are getting up, you don't get so tired sitting at your desk. It gets, like you said, the blood flowing, and then you're probably more engaged in your task because you're getting some activity in there.
Right. You get a brain break. You're able to stand up and move, so your body is so grateful for that. And then you're more refreshed, more rejuvenated, and you're ready to sit back down on that exercise ball and get back to that task at hand. But all you need is 90 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes if you have, that's great. But if you don't, stand up for 2 minutes and move around, and then get back to what you're doing. And then there are other things that you can do aside from the exercise ball. Lots of people store their soup for the day in their office. So when you're talking on the phone, when you're on that conference call and you've got that headset, so you can talk to people, you can actively participate in your conversation while you're actively working your muscles at the same time. And there are other pieces of exercise equipment that you can have. I mean, I've stored it in my file cabinet, just some resistance bands that I can use, and I can use these for strengthening, I can use them for stretching, but either way I'm getting benefits while I'm sitting at my desk and I'm getting my work done. I'm actively engaging my body at the same time. So we can use resistance bands.
And you can buy those at any store, like
any sporting goods store. Yep. Even local department stores will have these, and there's tons of things that you can do. Set the band underneath your feet. You can do bicep curls. You can do rows, back rows. You can do leg extensions, and imagine the amount of effort it's taking my core to stay engaged while I'm doing this. I'm creating more of a balance activity, so I'm really having to rely on that supporting leg that's on the floor, but I'm getting strength in that leg that I'm moving at the same time. I can do stretching with I can do arm extensions, tricep extensions. I could do tricep pull downs. I can do exercises for my chest. Just having one in your office file cabinet is such a neat piece of equipment, such a good tool to have. So you can do just about anything with it during the day.
I think that's a great tool to have. You know, where people way back used to take cigarette breaks, I mean, why not take a little exercise mental break? Yes.
Right, a brain break, an activity break.
Exactly.
So that your body loves you for it and your mind does as well, because you get that opportunity to just get away from that space, that small space, and breathe some fresh air. And during your lunch break, I mean, take a lunch break. Lots of times people will say, I'm just going to work through my lunch break because I have so much stuff I have to do. Take 20 minutes to walk around the neighborhood where your office is located and breathe in some fresh air and you know, just get away from the desk for a little bit, so
come back
that
more
you're
refreshed.
more refreshed and you're ready to you know, charge with a little bit more intensity because you've given yourself an opportunity to relax that mind for a bit.
Well, I hope that gives you some great ideas to do in the office and that you can exercise wherever you are, whether it's at home or out at the office.
Coming up next, a gourmet comfort food lunch at one of Denver's hottest restaurants.